Hello YouTube, this is my Fluval Edge Aquarium. It's a 6-gallon aquarium, which is about 23 liters in case you're wondering, which is pretty neat. Alright, I'll explain that sponge thing a little bit, but I've got about 7 neon tetras in there. A couple of them are hiding. Yep, you see one guy in the back. And we've got a bunch of cherry shrimp. Yeah, love these guys. Cherry shrimp, yeah, it's a bit blur. A bunch of them are hiding somewhere in the tank. Yeah, I gotta have about 8 here, which are hiding and out here. A few pieces of rocks, a couple of pieces of driftwood that I got from my local fish store. Plants, Java moss. I'm sorry. Yeah, now the water is actually a little bit yellowish because of the tannins from the driftwood, but I kind of like that color. Yeah, I like that black water look. Gives a, I'm guessing gives it a sort of Amazonian kind of look to it, which is where the neon tetras are from originally, if I'm not wrong. And alright, let's take a tour of the tank, the other parts of it. Okay, now the check this out. Yes, this is where the Fluval Edge is so special. It's basically what when you get it, it becomes a cube of water in your room. So you can see it's sealed on every side. So this is just, okay, this is me. My phone just smack on the top. Alright. Yes. So yes, it's solid. You can put your hand through. It's a very cool thing. It's got a little mesh net on top. A little lid. Okay, and this is where you get access to everyone in there. Okay. Okay, let's put this lid away. Alright, so in here we've got a light holder, and it houses 2 halogen light bulbs. They get pretty hot, so if you have it on for long hours, I would suggest not touching it like this. Yeah, it's pretty hot actually. So they've got a little switch here, and it's even covered. So I've seen a lot of people modifying the lights with LEDs, but I haven't tried that yet. Anyway, yeah, those are the 2 lights, and right down here is the Aqua Clear 20 that comes with the tank. Yeah, comes inside the box. Right in there, you get a little you see a little basket. Yep, the 2 little rings. They actually form a little basket at the bottom. And so if you want to clean out the filter medium, all you need to do is just pick it up. Yeah, just squeeze it and pick it up. And it's so easy to clean. It's so nice, and it's a very powerful filter. Check out the water flow. Yes, it's pretty strong. That's the highest setting. I put it on low, and it's still very strong. Turn it back to high. Okay, now a few things you gotta remember about the Fluval Edge. One thing is that first time I got this back, after I finished setting everything up and started filling in water, I started getting bubbles. Yes, bubbles forming on top of the tank, real big ones, like tiny small ones everywhere. So what I had to do, I found some guy that said to just burp the tank, which basically means you just like lift the tank a little bit, tilt it a little bit, and hope it doesn't fall on the ground, and get the bubbles out. And another way is to just go at it with a with a magnetic algae cleaner. Yep, you know, those 2-sided ones. Try to get one with that comes with a piece of string, so like the 2 pieces are tied together. So I mean, if you lose it inside the tank and you stick your hand in there, the water is most likely going to overflow. Okay, and another thing to note about the Fluval Edge: once you get the bubbles out, now check this out. You want to keep the water level probably around this height, about halfway through to the top. Okay, if it goes too low, what happens is that the filter will sort of send bubbles down, and you'll get like a chunk of bubbles right in front over here. And if it's too high, the problem I had was when I sent food down there, I had these mini semi-floating wafers, slow sinking wafers. They would actually just get blown, just get swept in the current and just end up going straight into the filter. So yeah, you got to be careful about that. Now as for, like I mentioned, that filter is pretty strong, it's pretty powerful. So on the first day I brought back my cherry shrimps, one of them actually almost got sucked in there. He managed to pull himself out, thank goodness. But yeah, after I saw that, it prompted me to get something to fix it. And yes, I know that Hagen sells a pre-filter sponge for the Fluval Edge intake valve, but unfortunately my local fish stores don't have it, so you know, I had to go all guerrilla and do it myself, make one on my own. So if you have that same problem, I am here to tell you how to go about it. Now you can probably find something like this, the Hagen Trio. You can see this. It's the Hagen Trio 2000. Okay, this comes in a nice long box, and this is what's inside. A sponge. It used to be double the length of this because like half of it is already in there. So yeah, it starts off like rectangular. Make sure it's wide enough. Make sure it's long enough to cover the entire pipe, because that pipe is pretty wide. So what you do, you grab a pair of scissors. Just start sinking that scissor in, like part of the scissor in from the top. Keep it going in, and then make sure it goes deep enough so they can, and then just stick it into the pipe. And if you're fine with the whole thing just looking like smack piece of rectangle there, I mean that's fine. But I sort of wanted mine a bit rounded. You can see, yeah, it's kind of round. It's not perfectly round, but it's kind of round. So what I did was, after you put it in the pipe, just go at it with a pair of scissors and slowly trim it off until you get like sort of a roundish kind of shape, and it looks better. It's better than, like, to me, it's better than just having a rectangle smack there. Now, of course, the color, yeah, yellow is not ideal. I'll be the first to admit to that, but I couldn't find anything else at the moment, so it worked for me. If you can find a black one, that'll be great. All the best to you. Yeah, those Tetra is coming out now. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube with the same tank, and I've seen quite a lot of them overstocking the tank. Now it is just 26 liter, about 23 liters, 6 gallons. So you probably don't want too many fish in there. Like neon tetras were the smallest I could think of. Even cardinals. I thought of cardinals at first, but I was worried that they might get too big. Yeah. You can probably get away with cardinals. I'm not sure, but I kind of like the way that it's just 7 neon tetra, so that they have enough to school a whole bunch of cherry shrimp. So that, you know, I don't know if they get lonely, but it kind of looks better when you have like a whole bunch of them, because half of them will hide anyway. Yeah, so you see the fish look like much happier compared to like if you overstock it. And another thing is, because this tank is so small and it's so hard to reach inside and do things like cleaning it and like taking stuff out, you want to be able to do as little maintenance as you can. Meaning you don't want to have to stick your hand in every other day to, you know, pick up dead fish, or like stick in a gravel vac every week or two and have to clean the gravel. And it does get a bit tedious, especially for such a small tank. So the best way to avoid all those problems is to just not have too many fish, and not to have too many big fish, especially big fish. Big fish do not belong in this tank. I do not even have a beta in here. Never considered it, because a beta would not do, I don't think they would do well, because, you know, betas have that habit of floating all the way to the top to take a breath of air, and when they float to the top of this, they'll be like, oh no, there's no air. And if they float to the center, it's like, oh no, it's a strong current, and no, it's not going to work for them. So yeah, so do take that into considerations. I was very tempted to get Galaxy Resboras, saw them in the store, but didn't. Decided to stick with the plan, neon tetras. 7 of them, and they seem to be happy. Planning on getting maybe a Nerex snail or something like that, a couple of big snails and a few assassin snails maybe, because I have a little tiny snail issue here, but not too big a problem. Can still take them out. As for algae, not much algae at the moment, so no need for algae eating fish, and the tank is kind of small for them anyway. So yeah. So that's the tour of the Fluval Edge. If you're considering on getting one, I think you should just go and get it. But do keep in mind that it is not a big tank. It is a very small tank. It is not an easy tank to clean. It is not an easy tank to stick your hand in and just decorate stuff every other day. You know, you don't want to do that. But it is a very easy tank to maintain if you do it right. Meaning don't get too much fish, don't overstock it, try not to overfeed, you know, stuff like that. I've heard of people like doing water changes like once every 3-4 weeks for the Fluval Edge, which, you know, if you do have a small amount of like organisms in there, that'll be fine. So yep, this is the Fluval Edge. Absolutely loving it. And I hope you get one and you enjoy it too, and please share your videos with me and show me how you decorate it.